Welcome back. Today we're diving into a heartfelt and candid moment shared by former First Lady Michelle Obama, as she reflects on motherhood, marriage, and the very personal decision she made that defied even her husband's wishes. This one's both emotional and empowering. In a recent and refreshingly honest conversation, Michelle Obama offered an intimate glimpse into a subject many parents can relate to: choosing what kind of family to build. The former First Lady, known for her warmth, wisdom, and powerful voice on topics from health to education to womanhood, opened up about a moment in her life that came with unexpected relief. She shared that, despite former President Barack Obama's hopes for a third child, she is so glad they didn't have a boy. Why? Well, Michelle explained that raising daughters, Malia and Sasha, gave her a kind of peace, clarity, and strength that might have looked very different had a son been part of the picture. "I'm just really grateful for the two girls we raised," she said, smiling. "And I'm not ashamed to say, I'm glad I didn't have a boy." She acknowledged that Barack was open to expanding their family, especially in the early years of parenthood. But Michelle, always clear about her sense of balance, decided two was enough, and ultimately, it was a decision she stands by. The reason behind her relief isn't just about the number of children, it runs deeper. Michelle noted the unique challenges that come with raising Black boys in America, especially in a world still grappling with systemic racism, toxic masculinity, and emotional suppression. "I think about what kind of world I would have had to prepare a son for," she admitted. "And it's terrifying." For Michelle, having daughters meant she could focus on empowering young women, teaching Malia and Sasha to lead with empathy, speak with strength, and never shy away from being themselves. It was a mission that aligned perfectly with her role both as a mother and as a cultural leader. That said, she gave full credit to her husband, describing Barack as a deeply involved father, one who doted on his daughters and showed up for the big and small moments of their lives. But she made it clear, parenting isn't always about what both parents want. "There comes a point when you know what your limits are," she shared. "And I knew, emotionally, physically, and even mentally, I was at capacity." Michelle has always been candid about the challenges of motherhood, especially while living in the public eye. From sleepless nights in the White House to teenage mood swings at home, she never sugarcoated the balancing act required of modern moms, especially women juggling personal ambition, a public role, and the needs of a family. And for Michelle, that honesty is part of her power. In fact, her remarks about raising daughters come on the heels of a broader conversation she's been having about gender roles, parental pressure, and expectations placed on women. She's been vocal about how women are often expected to bend their lives around others, their partners, their careers, even cultural norms, and that deciding when enough is an act of self-respect. So when Barack Obama, the ever-optimistic father who adored fatherhood, suggested maybe one more baby, Michelle had the courage to say, "No. I loved being a mom. Still do. But I also knew myself," she explained. Today, both Malia and Sasha are thriving young women. Malia is pursuing screenwriting in Los Angeles, while Sasha recently graduated college and is exploring her next steps. And Michelle? She's watching them grow into themselves with the same pride that has defined her public persona for years. "I look at my daughters now, and I know I did the right thing, for them, for me, for our family." The former First Lady's comments have sparked a wave of conversation online, with many praising her transparency and relatability. For so many women, especially those in relationships where childbearing is a shared dream, Michelle's decision to put her own boundaries first is being seen as both bold and refreshing. Some fans even took to social media to say, "Thank you, Michelle, for saying what so many of us have felt but were afraid to voice." Others celebrated the way she framed her motherhood story, not as a sacrifice, but as a series of empowered choices. Michelle Obama has never been afraid to speak her truth, and in doing so, she continues to give others the strength to speak theirs. Whether she's sharing life lessons from the White House or the living room, her voice remains a guiding one. Let us know in the comments. Do you think it's okay for one parent to put the brakes on expanding a family? And how do you feel about Michelle's reflections on motherhood and raising daughters? Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss another story from the lives of the world's most influential icons. Until next time, stay inspired, and stay informed.